Hello, in today's short and sweet, we're going to be speaking about the concept of a selech harav, that you have to have a rav, a rabbi for yourself. It says that in the Mishnah Pirkei Avos, a selech harav. Every Jewish person should have a Rabbi, a rav, a person who is their spiritual guide in their life. So I'd like to speak about this and the Rebbe-Talmud relationship, the rabbi-disciple relationship, with a very special source from a Gemara in Pesachim. There's a Gemara in Tractate Pesachim, Daf Kuf Yud Beis Amud Aleph 112a. The Gemara over there discusses a story that happened when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he came to visit Rabbi Akiva when he was chavish in the Beis Hasurin, when Rabbi Akiva was imprisoned in jail. The Gemara tells us in Tractate Brachos how Rabbi Akiva was caught and imprisoned and given a horrible, ultimately put to death horribly by the Romans for teaching Torah publicly. And the Gemara over here in Pesachim picks up with what happened when Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai goes to visit Rabbi Akiva in prison. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai asks Rabbi Akiva to please teach him Torah. The Gemara says, Rabbi, lamdeini Torah. Rabbi, please teach me Torah. So it's understood from the other Rishonim on that Gemara, I guess there was like a little window into the dungeon or cell, that he spoke to him, and he answers back, he's saying, Eini melamedecha, I am unable to teach you. Rabbi Akiva says to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, I'm sorry, I can't teach you right now. There's different reasons why. He didn't want his student to be imprisoned also. Different Torahs why. But the point, he says, I can't teach you. So listen to this. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says back to Rabbi Akiva, Im ein ata melamdeini, if you aren't going to teach me Torah, I'm going to go to Yochai, my father, because that's his name, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. So Yochai was his father. He says, I'm going to go to Yochai, meaning dad, and we're going to basically hand you over to the government. Meaning, yeah, you think you're in jail now? You think you're in trouble now? The way many Rishonim understand it, he says, well, we know other stuff you did, other mitzvahs you did, other times you taught Torah, other things that would infuriate the Romans. We're going to tell them everything you did. We're going to be over Mesira, which, according to the Rambam, to inform on another Jew to a wicked government is actually one of the worst things you could possibly do. And that's what Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said to Rabbi Akiva. If you don't teach me Torah, that's fine. I know what I'm going to do about it. We're going to hand you over and get you even more trouble with the Romans. So the question is an obvious one. The Alter Slobodka asked this question. It's a good question. How could he speak with such a chutzpah to his Torah teacher? I mean, it's very nice. He wants Torah, but to talk this way, it's a horrible thing to say. To hand over another Jew, which is a prohibition called Mesira, the Rambam says it's so bad that a Jew who informs on another Jew to a wicked, malicious government, you take that Jew who did so, who was over Mesira, violating Mesira, it's a mitzvah, the Rambam writes, to throw him to a bottom of a well and leave him for dead. That's what the Rambam says. So how could Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai speak this way to his teacher? I mean, it's very nice. He wants to learn. But there were other Tanaim, other Gedolim of that era. Let him go learn with them. You have to go speak with such a chutzpah. The Alter Slobodka asks this for a kasha, and listen to what he says. He says like this, no, it's not what it looks like, and in fact, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai spoke very well and properly to Rabbi Akiva. This is what he was saying. He was saying like this, and this is the interpretation that I want to focus in on. He said as follows. He said, Rabbi, meaning Rabbi Akiva, if you're not going to teach me Torah, I could see what's going to happen. Little by little, I'm going to fall apart. I'm not going to be the same. If I don't have your Torah and your learning, little by little, I'm going to go down the slippery slope and becoming less of a Jew, more immoral, less holy, little by little, until I'm going to become the lowest of the low. I could even become a miser. I could even become the worst. So says the Alter Slobodka, he wasn't threatening him, saying, oh, this is what I'm going to do to you. He was saying, no, if you don't teach me Torah, let me describe to you what's going to be the picture of my osid, my future. Look where I'm going to end up. I'm going to end up becoming the lowest of the low. And my friends, we have to know, if Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, yeah, that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the one who wrote the Zohar, that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the Lag BaOmer, Maron, that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, if he's saying, if he doesn't have his regular connection with Torah and Torah study, he could fall apart to become the biggest, forgive the expression, dirtbag humanly possible from the Jewish perspective. Imagine what would happen, alachas kama v'kama, gazillion times over for everyone else in this era, in this world, and so on and so forth. Another point that's worth bringing out is it's not just that he could have learned Torah, because he could have learned Torah with other people from his era. The answer is, you see from this Gemara, you need to have your own Rebbe. You need to have your own teacher with a special relationship and a special connection. There's reasons I'll be Kabbalah, I'm not going to get into now, but not every person is able to fully absorb Torah from every other Torah teacher. Not every person who teaches merits to teach everyone in Klal Yisrael, and not everyone in Klal Yisrael can learn from everyone else. You need your special Rebbe, you need your special teacher. So otherwise, you didn't have to speak with Chutz, but let him go learn with somebody else. The answer is, you do need your own personal connection and your own teacher. There's a story that happened to Rav Wolbe Zatzal, Rav Wolbe, the Alei Shor, when he first arrived in the Mir Yeshiva many, many years ago. He was a bacher, and he was assigned to a room with another young man, and the guy was, an older single guy, maybe 28, 29, 30 years old. And the fellow looks at Rav Wolbe, before he was Rav Wolbe, he was a yeshiva bacher, and he says to him, "How old do you think I am?" And he says, "I don't know, 29, 30. He goes, "No, I'm not. I'm 3 years old and 2 months. I'm 3 years and 2 months old." What are you talking about? You look at 28, 29, 30, 31. That's how old you are. What do you mean you're 3 years and 2 months old? And the bacher said back to Rav Wolbe on his first day in the Mir, he said, "No." He said, "Yeah, that's what I look like on the outside, but I've been in the Mir Yeshiva for 3 years and 2 months, and that is when I came under the influence of Rav Yerucham Levovitz, the Heilige Mashgiach, Rav Yerucham Levovitz Zatzal." And he said, and from that time, I was like kamat, like almost like a born-again, brand-new person. What I'm trying to bring out from the story from Rav Wolbe and the Gemara Pesachim with Alter Slobodka is we are mechuyev, obligated to seek out a Rebbe, a Rav, a Rebbitzin for a woman, someone that you can learn from and have a special relationship with, that you can learn from them and grow from them. Because when the relationship is working, whether it's Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and Rabbi Akiva, or it could be a bacher in the Mir Yeshiva before the Holocaust with Rabbi Yerucham Zatzal, it has the ability to transform your life entirely. Anyway, thank you very much for checking in. Hope you enjoyed today's short and sweet. If you'd like to catch the rest in the series, please go to TorahAnytime.com. Look them up. We have many, many more for you. And until tomorrow, have a great day.